My name is Derek. I just turned 33, and 2 weeks ago, I helped begin restoring the boarding school that destroyed one of my friends and nearly killed the rest of us. It started as a restoration project. Falcon House was an old boys' prep school in upstate New York, closed in 1997 after years of crumbling infrastructure and legal trouble. My buddy Liam, a real estate developer, bought it for pennies and invited a handful of us up to help turn it into a boutique hotel. We were all alumni. The nostalgia hit hard. There were 6 of us total. Me, Liam, Isaac, Chris, Hannah, and Jules. Hannah was the only one who hadn't actually attended Falcon House, but she was Liam's fiancée and had architectural experience, so she was tagging along for the weekend. The rest of us had history with the place. Good memories, bad memories, mostly bad. But we'd all accepted the invite. I think part of us needed to see it one last time. The place was massive. 4 floors, a basement, and a connected chapel. Our first day was all handshakes and laughter. We took selfies in our old dorm rooms and drank whiskey on the rotting tennis court. It felt like summer camp for adults. On the second day, Liam took us into the chapel. It was dusty and cold. Light cut through the stained glass in long, colored beams. He pulled up a trap door behind the pulpit and invited us down into the old boiler wing. That was when I should have left. We descended into a basement none of us remembered. It had cinder block walls, buzzing fluorescents, and floors marked with paint. Red, green, and yellow lines formed paths on the ground, like a decommissioned hospital or research lab. "What the hell is this?" Chris asked. Liam grinned. "This was shut down in the 60s. The priest used to tell me it was off limits because it was being fumigated. But one night in senior year, I snuck down here. It goes way further than the blueprints show. There's a wing that isn't documented anywhere." "You sure we should be down here?" Jules asked. "Might be asbestos, mold, rats." "I've already had a team come in and clear most of it," Liam said. "Just keep your masks on until we hit the sealed section." He led us down a green-lined corridor until we came to a heavy steel door. There was no knob, just a recessed handle and a push plate above it with the words "Compliance Wing" etched into it. Liam held up a worn brass key on a cracked plastic tag. "Found this behind the old headmaster's desk. Guess they weren't very subtle." He slid the key into the panel and turned it. The door gave a mechanical click, then a hiss. Beyond it was something none of us expected. A long, carpeted hallway with black wood walls, golden sconces, and polished floors. It was perfectly preserved. No dust, no decay. It looked new. "Jesus," Hannah whispered. "This doesn't match any style in the rest of the building." Chris ran his hand along the wall. "Why is it so clean? There's no ventilation down here." Liam stepped forward. "Because this section is sealed from everything, self-contained. When I found it as a kid, I thought it was some kind of hidden dorm wing." "It's got power," Isaac muttered. "Look, these lights aren't fluorescent." We walked deeper. There were doors along both sides. Wooden ones, each numbered with small brass plates. We stopped at one of the doors near the middle, room 9, and Liam opened it slowly. Inside was a single bed, made military tight, and a desk bolted to the floor. A chair stood in the corner, facing the wall. No dust, no cobwebs. Jules leaned in. "It's like a hotel room." Isaac shook his head. "More like a cell. No bathroom, no windows." We checked a few more rooms. They were all the same. Some had scratches on the walls. One had dried something smeared in the corner. None of them looked lived in. That's when Hannah said, "Why would a school have a place like this?" Liam didn't answer. He led us to the end of the hall. There, a single door stood with a silver plate. It read, Room 0. He used the same brass key. Behind that door was not a room. It was a staircase going down. Okay, I said. This is too much. This wasn't on any map? Liam nodded. That's the point. This place, this whole wing, wasn't meant to be found. We went down anyway. The staircase was tight, concrete, and steep. At the bottom, we stepped into a small viewing room with a giant one-way window. And what we saw behind the glass will haunt me forever. It was a circular room the size of a gymnasium. In the middle stood a tall steel chair facing the glass. Around it were black tracks, like rails from some kind of ride. They curved and snaked through the room in unpredictable ways. Some led into holes in the walls. Some just ended mid-air. "What the hell is this?" Hannah whispered. Liam moved to the control panel under the window. He flicked a switch, and the chair in the center rotated toward us. I swear to God, it looked like it had restraints. "It's called the Hall Beneath," Liam said softly. I read about it in a journal I found in the headmaster's safe. It was used in the 60s, not for therapy, not for detention, for selection. Selection? Jules asked. Liam turned to us. The journal said students who misbehaved or refused to assimilate were sent here. Some returned changed, obedient. The others didn't return. "Nope," Isaac said. "Nope, I'm done. This is sick." But Liam kept going. The journal said it was a test. They called it the Hall, said it was tailored to the subject. It read your vitals, your mind, your thoughts. It created an experience meant to either break you or rewire you. Chris backed away. "You brought us here to what? Test it?" Liam shook his head. "Number I brought you here because I couldn't believe it. I needed someone else to see this, to know I'm not crazy." I looked through the glass again. The chair was just sitting there, waiting. Hannah moved toward the door on the other side of the viewing room. "What are you doing?" I asked. "If this is real," she said, "it needs to be destroyed. And if it's not, then maybe it can be explained." She pushed the door open and walked inside. I chased after her. "Hannah, stop!" She approached the chair. The moment she stepped into the center of the rails, everything came alive. The chair clicked, lights in the ceiling lit up, and a long, screeching metallic sound echoed through the chamber. We tried to run to her, but a barrier came down between us. The last thing I saw before the window went dark was Hannah, now seated, strapped into the chair as a pod slid into place beneath the rails, and then she was gone. The control panel flared to life. The screen showed 4 colored paths: red, blue, yellow, green. Each had a label beneath it: compliance, regression, fear, null. A blinking cursor hovered over fear. We screamed at Liam to shut it down. He tried. Nothing worked. After a moment, the green path lit up. That's when we heard it. Her scream. Not startled, not injured. A scream of pure animal terror. It echoed once through the chamber. Then it was cut off. The panel went dark. When the window returned, the room was empty. The chair was still, but Hannah was gone. We waited for hours. We called her name. We tried to find service, but nothing worked down there. When we finally went back up, Liam locked the wing behind us. "I'll bring authorities," he said. "I'll show them everything." But we all knew he wouldn't. We left that night. 2 days later, Liam called me. He said he'd returned with police. Said there was no door behind the pulpit, no corridor, no room 0, just an empty, dusty chapel, and no Hannah. No one believed our story. They said she must have fallen into the old boiler system, drowned in a cistern, or run off. No body was found. No sign of her. Just 5 friends, broken and sleepless, clinging to a memory we wished we could erase. I moved out of state a month later. Last week, I got a package in the mail. No return address. Inside was a single photograph. It showed a new school, a sleek charter academy outside Chicago. Near the edge of the playground was a brick building, separate from the main campus, tucked behind fencing and trees. On its side, barely visible in the shadows, was a steel door, and next to it, a black panel with 2 words etched into it. Compliance Wing, and I knew what had to be behind it.